Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Sunday, beautiful blue skies. I'm about to give that a wash and do a couple of things to this. Last week when I came down on Monday to put the bus to bed properly, the starter button wouldn't work. It's an intermittent thing, it happens on and off, and it'll come good sometimes, other times I need to change a fuse or something, so I'll look at that. And then also that, can you see down underneath there? You can't really, that carpet there, or it's not carpet, it's marine flooring, but I put it, it's very similar to the original, and as I showed you in the last video, the door forced itself open because I had the bus building up air, I was doing something else, the door switch was in the open position, and sadly, it's not only forced itself open and torn all of the flooring, it's also ripped out a couple of rivets from the leaf. So I'm going to do that this afternoon if we can. There's something else I want to do, and that's talk to you about these hats. I said I wasn't going to go down the merchandise path. It's just not something I can make any money out of. But I have actually sent a cap over to New Zealand to Xavier. And at Deckers in the Night last weekend, I had this one on, and I had a fella called Peter ask me how he can get a cap. And in the end, he ordered two. So his are off getting manufactured now, and I thought, well, why don't I show you what you can get the caps in as far as colours are concerned. If you want one, let me know. As far as price, the caps come back to me at $40 a piece roughly. Depending on how many I order, I get a little discount on the freight for each cap. So they're $25 for the cap blank, and then it's embroidered and posted back to me. It arrives to me at around the $40 mark. So that's all you're going to pay. If you want one, is $40 plus whatever it costs to send it to you. In Australia, that shouldn't be too much. I think to New Zealand, it cost me $15. And Xavier, thanks for the photos. He's a truck driver. He keeps sending me photos of the hat out on jobs with him. Here are the colors. This is called brown with khaki. This is called khaki with black. This is blue with white. This is navy blue with white and a light blue stripe. Sea Eagles fans will love this one. Maroon and white. St George fans, red and red with a white stripe. One for the missus maybe. I like this color. It's pink with black and a white stripe. So they're the colors. If you want one, reach out, let me know. As I said, about $40 Australian plus postage. Anyway, I am going to give, look, there they all are. Going to give the F150 a bit of a bath because it's filthy. So while I wash that, let's go back to the middle of the week and I'll show you what I've done on the F truck so far, and then we'll get stuck into some work on the buses. Welcome to another episode of Steve Stuff. On the F150 after work down in the garage. Now, I've seen other YouTubers do this, and there's some guys that I follow and they've got this on their trucks, and I really like the idea. They've got their logo on their back window, so I had one printed up and I want to put it there. It's a bit hard on this because there's that little window that slides in the middle of the back window there, so I've got to I had to get the Steve and the stuff in the F and everything to kind of fit around that square window. Anyway, I'm fiddle-arsing around now. The decal arrived today, just working out where I've got to cut it, and so it'll fit around there, but yeah, wanky. I think it's okay. It's good advertising. If it looks shit, I'll take it off. With a little bit of messing around, I've worked out that I need to trim just a little bit of this first F off, but I think if you block it out, you'll still be able to read what the word says, and then that's over. So the Steve stuff is centered, and then the YouTube logo's off to the side. And that's the curve of the window, if you can see the window here. Okay, I've got to take that upstairs now and cut it. Okay, next morning, just before I go to work, I've been fiddling around with cutting this out and then didn't realise that this top of this window curves, and because this is longer on this side than it is on this side, that curvature is going to come into play with there. So I may just have to shave a little bit of the YouTube logo off, and it's just all about trying to get it level. I'm going to have to trim a bit further up into there, right at the bottom of those letters by the look of it, and try and get this curve right again. Just trying to stuff around with this Steve Stuff sticker on the back of the F150. I gave up the other night because the sensor light kept going off in the garage where I was trying to work. Gave me the shits, so I quit. So what I've had to do is I've had to cut the YouTube logo off because it's, with the curvature of that piece of glass, it wasn't working. So I've pretty much just cut out the whole thing, left a little bit on each side of the clear stuff that sticks to the window, and I think I'm happy with where that's sitting now. And then I'll pop the YouTube decal off onto the side of it. So I think I might go and get some soapy water now and pop it on there and see how it looks. Try and line it up properly. Righto, if I stuff this up, you're gonna watch me stuff it up. Right, no going back now. Trying to get it level and in the centre. How does that look? Alright, I'm going to have a look. How does that look to you? Same distance from the bottom of the window there to the E, bottom of the E, bottom of the T. The F's the same there as the S there. I think that's as close as we're going to get it. So now, get the bubbles out. Without moving the decal. There's still tiny little bubbles in there around where the lettering's printed. Tiny little bubbles that just don't want to come out like that there. All I can do is do it the best I can. Standing back here, kind of looks okay. Maybe I should have cut the plastic around each individual letter. Hopefully, I don't know if you can see it from here, but there's a little line along the edge. See that? Hopefully that'll calm down. It just won't squeegee out. I think it's just where the scissor marks are. But it's a matte plastic. It's okay. You can still see that the word is stuff, even though I've had to cut the edge off that F there. It still makes sense. Now I'll put the YouTube logo. Some of you will say, why didn't you put it underneath it? And I thought about that too, but that's a sliding window and it's watertight. So, you know, a couple of times sliding that window open and close, you're probably going to tear that vinyl off. I'll stick it over there, off to the side. At least that's a bit centered. That there is the same distance as that is from there. I measured it all the other day when I was doing it all. It bloody well better be. Okay, so I'll put the other bit on, see how it looks. There it is. I've got a feeling that that YouTube logo is slightly crooked, but I've just double checked it. I've measured it, and I've measured it twice, and I've checked it twice and 3 times, and it all checks out. But just, I think the sloping glass is making the eye think it's crooked. Anyway, the little bit of white around the red, I think that's due to the graphic that I sent them. I don't think that's the vinyl places issue at all. What do you think? Wanky or good advertising for the channel? I just walked up and put some stuff in the shed, and as I walked back I thought, you know what, that looks okay. I like the red YouTube against the red F150 letters and against the red and black kind of theme of the truck with the Sport 4x4 decals there and the F150 at the front. So despite me thinking it could be slightly just a bee's dick crooked on that red logo, it jumps out, doesn't it? Looks okay. I keep telling myself it looks okay. You tell me if it looks wanky. There's the red lariat badges I'm talking about. Now something I'm going to try and do tomorrow is, I bought some of these. They're weather deflecting thingies that go up around there. And I've been holding off doing them because once you put them on, you've got to wait 3 days before you can wind the window down. So if I do it tomorrow, I probably won't need to drive the car next week until maybe Wednesday. I can hold off that long, so we'll give that a crack. But there's the lights on. Another job done. You know, I went back up there. I used one of the demister lines as a reference, and I was right. It was crooked. It was off by 2 mil. Now, I think that's right. That looks straight now, doesn't it? I'll show you the reference line. You can't see it, but if I put the ruler along the demister line, there like that, you can see that it's difficult to line up because it's a curve kind of thing, but I think those corners look equidistant now from the line. That's about it there. I think I'm going to go with that. That's better. Yep, it was just slightly, but it was annoying my eye. I mean, I don't have a builder's eye, but I've got a pretty good eye. And that is almost perfect, if not absolutely perfect. Good job, me. That deserves a beer. Now tomorrow, because it's Saturday evening, tomorrow I've got to come down. There's a couple of things wrong with that. One of them being the starter button won't work now, and the air buzzer sounds sick. When I say sick, it's just like as soon as you turn the dash power on, and there's no power to the button won't start. So I think last time it was either a fuse or it's a sticky relay or something. I need to have a look at that, and I think I've worked out a way to fix that carpet, or that floor at the front door where it got torn up last week. So I'm going home to relax, and I'll see you tomorrow. You may have noticed there were some cartons of beer in the back of this truck when I was doing the back window. They didn't have my beer the other day, so I bought this one. It was on special. Do the colours remind you of anything? Close. Maybe this is my new favourite beer. What I just noticed, I turned the battery on and noticed when I flip the starter, I'm getting a red light, which I wasn't getting, and I'm no longer getting any buzzing. And also I've noticed this gauge has gone back to 0, where it was stuck up at about 40 the other day. So I've got a hunch it's maybe fixed itself, which has happened before. So come along with me as I see if this will start off the starter button. There we go. So it's just one of those intermittent things. I don't have to do anything, and most of all, joy of all joys, I don't have to get down in there. So I'm going to let this warm up. I've made sure I've opened that door this time. Let it fill up with air and just go through its paces, and then I'll have a look at down here, see what we can do. Something else I should do while I'm here this afternoon. This is called the lunchbox. It's just a nickname for the driver's compartment. You can stow your lunchbox in there. Most people just put their phone, their wallet, whatnot. I use it to store everything. But it's not bolted in, and the other night it kept falling. I kept losing stuff down at my feet. So while I'm here, I might just take this all out and throw a couple of rivets and sort that out. So with everything out, it was one of those situations like, oh, I was wondering where that was. Oh, I was wondering where that was. All in there. I've got a hole here, so I might just use that hole, drill into the front bulkhead, throw a rivet in that, and then that'll solve my problems. Well, maybe you were smart enough to foresee this, but I wasn't. I can't get the rivet gun in there. So I'm going to just go and try and find a nice big thick self-tapping screw and do it that way. That'll do. It's not going to fall out now. Let's have a look at this mess again. So if you missed last video, I had this door locked down through that hole, started the bus. The switch was in the open position, I don't know why. And the other thing is I always leave that released because as soon as I turn the battery off on this thing, it closes the doors. So I need to release those so I can get in and out while I'm packing up. Sorry if I just made you airsick then. So yeah, the switch was in the open position. The air was not released. So when the bus built up air, this door wanted to open. And as it did, this thing here, which was down in the hole, tore itself out of the hole and then ziggity zaggity ziggity zaggity ziggity zaggity ziggity zaggity all the way along there. Bent itself a little bit. I managed to salvage the lock and the pin. I had to take it all off from the back, and also ripped out a couple of rivets at the back of the leaf here. There's a piano hinge runs up the back. So I've been thinking about this, and I think I might be able to salvage, I'm thinking if I cut along this line here and just replace this much of the floor. I've got the roll of flooring. I'm going to go and make sure I've got enough. Well, as luck would have it, I do not have enough to stretch. If I put that up there and then show you what I've got down this end. It doesn't reach. Okay, well that's that idea. Blown out of the water. I can order another roll of this stuff. I think it's about $80 for a full roll. I do remember doing it. It wasn't an easy job to take that centre pole out there. I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave it. It's just getting more and dirtier and dirtier with more use, so maybe I'll just leave it and let it be a reminder to me every time I look at it that I'll never do that again with the door. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to look at with these two today. I've got to watch a video first, but I might start looking at putting those weather shields on the F150. Have you ever seen those budget direct ads? That's their car there. It's actually stored here, and it's going out for a commercial shoot tomorrow. So there it is, in the flesh. What's with all the balloons, Sarge? What happened with these was, I ordered them ages ago. I think it was through Amazon or eBay, I can't remember. I think it was eBay. And they just never showed up. They kept being marked as delivered, but never showed up. In the end, I got a refund off eBay and bought some more the other day. They're exactly the same. They're in channel, so they don't stick to the outside. I don't like that look. They actually go up inside the window channel. Bit of faffing about. There's a video on how to do it, so I'm going to watch that now. So this is what the kit looks like. That's for the rear, that's for the front. Everything's there, and there's some little clips and things that I've got to work out what to do with. So I'll show you. So that yellow, that's double-sided tape. So the whole thing kind of sits in the channel like that, and it sticks in there. They reckon they're snap proof, so there's a little bit of bending to do to get into there, up in there I guess. Anyway, I'll watch the installation video and then have a go. Now I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit nervous about this. There's a fair bit of twisting needed to get this into the channel, and they say in the video don't worry, it's designed not to shatter, not to snap. I'm worried about that, and I don't know, there's only one thing to do, and that's just to give it a go. There's a little mounting clip I had to put in there. It doesn't seem to want to go in, I guess, once this thing's sitting on it. So now, peel all this off. Here goes nothing. I'll be buggered. It worked. Next is I've got to slowly put the windows up. getting up to a point and there's something they don't like and it's triggering the window to pop back down again. So right, I think that's right. Terrified of flying after what happened in India the other day. Man, there's an A380. Just that little corner there was being troublesome. I think it needs to sit in there now, which is why they say don't open the windows for about 3 days, so that that can find its happy space and then that window won't keep hitting it. My beautiful clean windows. Anyway, you get the idea. They look good, and I'm going to go and do the other side. Righto, all done. I think they look good. Better than the ones that stick on the outside. There is the catch where the window can get caught, but I think if that sits there now for a few days, it should find its own home. They're nice and subtle, they're darkly tinted. Let's have a look at the driver's side. That's the car telling me that the keys are outside because they're up on the back there. You can actually disable that because it does scare the shit out of you if you're not prepared for it. If I get out of the car with the keys in my pocket and go to walk around the back to open the tailgate, it'll do that. Usually while you're walking around the front of the car or something, and send you up through the bloody roof. People in America using forescan, they do disable it. I didn't. I might if it scares me again. But anyway, weather strips, weather deflectors, whatever you want to call them, are on. Car is washed and cleaned. I'm happy with that. Buses are good. It's, I think, about 3:30 Sunday afternoon. I might just go home now and get back on the couch. I've just realised in this shot you can see 4 bums. There's the F150, there's the Merlin, there's the Atlantean, and that's going to do it. I really like the way that sticker came out on the back window. Let me know if you think it's a bit wanky. I hope you don't think it's wanky, because I think it looks good, and it's good advertising for the channel, I guess. There's one more mod I want to do to this ute. I was going to wait and include it in this video, but I've ordered the what I need. They're coming from the US, won't be here till Thursday or something. I'll do that in another video. They're basically swing out toolboxes. There's one for each side, and they swing in and then they kind of hug around the curve of the wheel arch. Very handy. I've lost a lot of storage space. I had so much room in that Ranger with the drawers that the previous owner put in at the tradies drawers. I've lost all that, so I've got the storage under the seat, but I need more. Most of my tools are still back at the little shed in my car space in my apartment building, and I get down here to do stuff and I can't find something, and I think, dang, it's back at home. So they're on the way. I'll do that next time. Happy with the Atlantean sorting itself out with that starter button. That happens. I'm going to go away now and think about what to do with that doorstep, whether I order more of that material or just live with the rip. I mean, it's just a step, but it annoys me. But like I said, let it be a lesson to me every time I see it, to never ever start the bus and walk away with the doors in the open position. Once again, thank you very much for sticking around. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell your friends about the channel if they're into buses and stuff like that. And I will see you soon on Steve Stuff. There was something else I was going to tell you. Oh, the hats. If you want a hat, reach out. You know exactly how much they're going to cost you. About $40 plus postage. It's about a 3-week turnaround. By the time I make the order, they get them to me. It's probably 2 weeks, 2.5, and then I've got to turn around and repost to you. So if you want one, just let me know the colour. I'll organise it. We'll worry about payment later and see how we go. So that's all I wanted to, yeah. All right, so now I get a second sip of beer. Thanks for sticking around. See you soon. Good stuff. Steve stuff.